Hi, seen him waiting on a picnic to bring my food and all what I ordered. Um, my scooter, seen yet 14, is almost perfect. Um, some things were confusing, but yeah, when I made the low RPM with the air screw, so idle and a little bit up. When I set that just a bit rich on the rainy days, with in mind that when it's dry, it's good, but there's freezing coming, winter is coming, so funny part of a movie, but winter is coming, so it's gonna freeze. And freeze means to me a couple of things, but two things most. Gas is gonna be thicker, air is gonna be thicker, but seeing freezing, the humid is not there. There's no water in the air. It's frozen, so as far as I know. So you not just get the mix of rich fuel and rich air, but you get rich air. So I thought I can always adjust it a little bit richer, but I think I got it right. And I really notice it because when I drive, it reacts to the air. So when it's raining, it's okay. When you notice it's cold, not raining but cold, and you know it's wet, then has less power. And when it turned its bit rich, just if you take a clock, just a few minutes, so to say, then I noticed that the idling when it was not yet warm, so let's say 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers riding, it's on the point where the choke, do I say it right? The choke is at the point of shutting off. Then it is then I think, uh-oh. Before I did maintenance, or the scooter dealer did, I put it there for big maintenance and new retire and a new battery because my battery was dead. When with that battery, you can't easily start. You have to kickstart. So at traffic lights, and it did that like I was, oh no, not here, not here. I can't kickstart when there's a car behind me. I have to go on there, and then you have to wait for traffic lights. No, not here, not. So you're trying to give gas a little so the RPM is up, but at a moment the scooter will say, no, I don't agree with you, I want to shut off. So I noticed when I set the fuel a little bit richer, that means less air, just a few minutes turn in. Suddenly it did right. It pulled up right. So not really rich, but just a little bit. What it means is that when it's a little bit rich, it doesn't straight away jump to idle, but it has a little bump to because if you know, if you set it to poor or lean, then it sinks in first and then it gets up. So I thought that last bit, just a few minutes, turned back to little richer, and it stayed perfectly on, and it pulled up right For the high end, I made a little hole extra in the air filter box, so it was just right, and I can notice it that it can breathe well. At the same time, yeah, I just noticed that it is better. So I think with my the higher RPM, it now is what it wants to have. And in low RPM, that just a little rich is perfect. And I do use acetone. Acetone, the ladies will recognize it for to remove nail polish acetone. I don't know what is in English, so I say the Dutch word I know, acetone. Maybe it's acetone, they just changed the letters, but okay. And I learned that is 4 milliliter on a liter of gasoline, and I don't use it. I don't actually measure it, but I know so many liters, so I have the little measure cup just on the eye. That's about it. And I notice it's uh, um, feisty, so to say, and it has just a little more power. It, yeah, when you go from the copper spark plug to iridium, that growl that it has, the same is with acetone. So that's what I put in. I'm doing that for years now, so I know that I don't know if it is actually the best, but for me it works great. So there's, yeah, it simply has more power. And with the rollers at 6.5 grams, 6.3 would be best, I think, but 6.5. The acetone on the fuel, iridium spark plugs, what more? Yeah, the air adjusted, as I said, it runs great. Only when you go to a corner, out of the corner, you have to accelerate. It doesn't go to actually high RPM, but have a little patience. And when I look in the mirror, I see, oh, the car isn't exactly behind me, so I'm faster than I thought. So slightly lighter rollers would be the best, but every time I changed because I thought it can be slightly better, mostly I didn't make it slightly better but worse. So I'm like, when it's good, then touch it. So it runs 1 on 45.5, I think, with great acceleration. When it rains, I don't want to go too fast in the rain. I don't dare to go through bends that fast or corners. I just want to be able to catch up or maybe slightly faster than a car. Faster than a car, most cars are fast. Cars are not adjusted like my scooter is. That's a smart thing of the garages to not adjust it right so you use all the fuel you think you need. So I'm fast enough, and when dry weather, yeah, monster. So with the freezing days, I don't know. Will it be too lean? Then I adjust it. Then I have to. But I don't know. I will see. When the roads are slippery from snow or frozen water on the road, I need to be careful because a little bit open throttle and it goes. So I need to be careful with that. I do have a new tire, I do have a new battery, and the dealer said, well, I didn't have to do much. It was really cheap. Big maintenance it was. He said, you really took care of your scooter, so it's really great. So it was like, okay. Before he said, I want to know what you did, but I rather would not that you do it. And now he was like, well, what you did, it worked. And I told him, I showed him that the let's call it intelligent carburetor, the Euro 5 and the Euro 4. He said, yeah, there were sensors on there. I said, no, those are false because the little black things on there are air filters. It shuts and it opens. But if it's not programmed, and it is not programmed, they're simply open. So the air for the yeah, I don't know all the names, but when you give gas or throttle, then you have the air that goes in the top. It pulls on the where the needle is on. But there is a hole through the tube. It goes to the valve. If the valve isn't shut, the air that is supposed to lift the whole bunch up is simply going away. That's why there is no power because you're not getting it. And the same is with low RPM, the air screw. The other valve is to keep that open. It is supposed to adjust, but I both shut it up and adjusted the air. Works great. But that's what I noticed. To set the air for air screw idle just a little bit too much air. Do I say it right? Nee, rich, so too little air. And for the higher RPM, good. Till now, that's best.